Hello, I'm Adam, your ripperologist at BlampCo Incorporated, surviving to be the final girl since 2015, and I hate making wrestling predictions. First of all, because it inevitably ends with me having to dress up like, to quote Sylvia Plath, a ding-dong bellend, but also because even under Triple H's watch, the most nonsensical shit still happens in professional wrestling. Imagine going back in time to late 2015, to the time I began doing this silly YouTube nonsense, grabbing a wrestling fan by the lapels and saying, in 10 years' time, one half of the Usos is going to win the Royal Rumble, and because of that, John Cena turns heel with The Rock and wrestles Stardust in the main event of WrestleMania. And he'll win thanks to the guy whose debut album, Rodeo, came out this year, 2015. Wrestling! Despite that, I do feel comfortable making one wrestling prediction. In several decades' time, we'll look back and in conversation about who the greatest women's wrestler in WWE history has been, that will come down to two names, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, maybe Io Sky as well. And before 2030 is out, it might just be Rhea Ripley standing alone. She reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and not just because Steve would also look right at home wearing those little bum straps, but also because Rhea Ripley has, through consistent booking, immeasurable talent, and fantastic presentation, become almost a franchise unto herself, a swaggering, waistcoated badass of unparalleled cool. In seemingly whatever market she walks into, she gets the biggest pop and elevates whatever division she finds herself in. If she hasn't main evented at least one night of WrestleMania by the time 2030 rolls around, I will eat what's to hand. I'll eat this, man. I'll eat this. This is a special video because not only is it spotlighting the career of one of the best to ever do it, who hasn't maybe even done her best yet, but because it's also a birthday commission. Happy birthday, Allison. If you feel like this video was made specifically for you, that's because it was. Your dad thought you might want to know my favorite memories from Rhea Ripley's generation-defining career, and I'm more than happy to oblige. I'm Adam from BlampCo Incorporated, and here are my top 10 Rhea Ripley moments. And I will now pause so that you at home watching this can all sing Allison a happy birthday. Allison. Number 10, Weathering the Storm. So this list is officially ranked in order of preference, but it does speak volumes that it's also almost in chronological order, starting at NXT UK, then NXT, then the main roster until now. And honestly, Rhea's best days might still be ahead of her. After an okay showing in the Mae Young Classic in 2018, Jack the Ripley beat Toni Storm to become the inaugural NXT UK Women's Champion. And honestly, look at this match. Two women wrestling in Birmingham for a UK championship, both of whom are Australian. That's very funny in a colonial sense, but it's also a hell of a time capsule. Imagine booking this match today, less than 10 years removed from this match. One woman is one of the greatest in WWE history. The other is one of the greatest in AEW history. It's like sifting for gold. You can see the real Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm in here, but they're obscured by lack of audience exposure. And as the time has worn on, all that mud has sifted away to reveal the gold therein. Even though Toni Storm was the intended star here, it's Rhea that walks away with the gold to give Toni something to chase. Toni would be crowned a few months later and have a much longer reign with the NXT UK Championship, but that shot of Triple H holding up Rhea's hand as an entire locker room of women begrudgingly watch, talk about foreshadowing. Number 9, last BFF standing. It's always nice when best buds get to wrestle each other. HBK and Triple H, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Bret Hart and Bill Goldberg. Brings a smile to your lips to watch them go at it and think yay for friendship. Raquel Rodriguez and Walnut Rip are two such bezies, which makes Raquel's upset elimination of Rhea at the Rumble this year all the cuter. And even though they've told the cliff notes of that real-life friends turn bitter enemy story on the main roster for their match at Night of Champions last year, it most properly received its due back in NXT, where the two blew off a month's running feud and New Year's Evil in a last woman standing match that'll put hairs on your chest. Raquel operating as Raquel Gonzalez before they changed her name to Rodriguez on the main roster for no reason other than, oh, it's a bit like Marvel Comics because her first name's got an R and now her surname's got an R. Rah, rah. Fucking wrestling. Raquel beats Rhea after a match that sees Rhea backdropped onto the lip of the announce table, a spot that legit injured her and apparently she's never been the same, before brawling to the back, smashing through glass doors. Rhea swantoning onto Raquel through a table, putting Raquel in the prism lock inside a chair before the match ends with a super Tejana bomb through the stage. Modern day Rhea needs to break more shit, because this match fucking ruled. Number 8, Team Ripley can't be stopped. The first women's War Games match took place in 2019. The first team to win a women's War Games match, their name was Team Ripley. And honestly, the manner in which they won, it should really annoy me, but it's a testament to how rad Rhea Ripley is that it turned out to be great. See, the match was supposed to be 4-on-4. Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, Bianca Belair in one of her rare appearances as a heel, versus Rip Van Winkle, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai. However, before Dakota enters the match, she shockingly turns traitor and murders Tegan Nox stone dead before abandoning her teammates, leaving Rhea and Candice in a 4-on-2 handicap match. All wrestling logic dictates that Team Ripley loses, but they pull it together, survive a brilliant match full of Mauro Ranallo Mamma Mias, all for Rhea to power through a Karafuda clutch, riptide Shayna through chairs, and pin not only a member of Shayna's team, but the goddamn NXT Women's Champion herself. Normally, it annoys me when babyfaces win handicap matches despite losing, A, making sense, and B, not being their fault. But this was part of a master plan to, in the space of a mere few months, make Rhea Ripley, number 7, the face of NXT. So these things all happened pretty much back to back. On November 22nd, 2019, Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks on SmackDown as part of an NXT vs. Raw vs. SmackDown storyline. The next day, Team Ripley beat Team Baszler in War Games. The next day, Team NXT, led by Rhea, beat Teams Raw and SmackDown at Survivor Series. This is superstar booking and proof positive that superheroes are made when made with care. A month later, on December 18th, Rip Rip Hooray beat Shazzles Bazzles with an avalanche riptide to become NXT Women's Champion to the sort of fanfare reserved for a WrestleMania main event. From about August to December 2019, Triple H made Rhea Ripley his personal project and got her over like crazy, just in time for Vince to grab Charlotte Flair by the ankle and use her to beat Rhea to death like he's trying to put out a chip pan fire. Despite the match at Mania 36 between Charlotte and Rhea being great, Charlotte defeating Rhea derailed her momentum. And even though Rhea would be called up to the main roster and even get a title win at Mania over Asuka at WrestleMania 37, she couldn't overcome her uninspired babyface booking. For over 2 full years, Rhea Ripley was just there, another cog in the broken Raw machine, until number 6, the heel turn. April 18th, 2022, a day that will live in infamy. Infamy me. Fuck! Point is, big day for Chris Rhea and his number 1 hit, Driving Home for Ripmas. After an interminable amount of time being a big, scary Megadeth goth who also smiled loads and was super best friends with earnest dorks like Nikki Ash or babyface Liv Morgan, Rhea got 1 too many hits on the head, realized, oh that's right, I'm fucking mint, and killed Liv Morgan stone dead on Raw. This was the start of Rhea Ripley's ascendance as a cool heel, although by far the more famous milestone in her career would come 2 weeks later at WrestleMania Backlash, where she'd cement her turn by joining Edge's Judgment Day back when he was in his vampire who owns and operates a sexual nightclub phase of his career. 2 very important things happened here. Rhea finally stopped being blonde and almost instantly upgraded her aura from Berlin Karen to power bominatrix, and Rhea discovered purple. It's a good color on her. As is the way of many a megastar, Rhea was a boring face, then a cool heel to become a cool face. Imagine if we'd just done that with Roman straight away and we didn't have to lose 5 years of our goddamn lives. Number 5, making Dom into a man. It's not a hot take, but Judgment Day would have been nothing without Dom and Rhea being the second coming of Eddie Guerrero and China, emphasis on the coming. It's at this point that I am taking stock of the fact that this list is someone's birthday gift for his daughter, and I'll take the time to remind him that he surely knew what he was paying for, and that I regret nothing, Father of the Year. In 2022, Rhea Ripley fucked Dominic Mysterio evil, and that boy ain't been right since. I mean, that's what happened. Do you want me to sugarcoat it? She turned him evil with her, it was, to borrow a phrase from Corinthians chapter 1, verse 17 to 19, a powerful lay. Boy howdy, she done TNA'd his DNA. Judgment Day, after routinely losing to Edge in the aftermath of kicking him out of his own group, could have been dead in the water, but the relentlessly funny concept of Mami Sita activating Dom's long dormant inner Eddie Guerrero genes and their oddball, sleazeball romance, that took the group to legendary status. I was at a public watch-along of Clash at the Castle when Dom turned heel, and it was goddamn brilliant. A full and frontal embrace of wrestling silliness that finally gave Dom and the Judgment Day a much needed shot of camp character. Number 4, the Iron Mummy. Another hot take, far too many people win the Royal Rumble from numbers 1 and 30 nowadays. Back in my day, he says with only faint irony, winning from number 30 wasn't allowed, and only 2 people had ever won from the number 1 spot, and one of them was Shawn Michaels. End of anecdote. Now it's happened like 5 times each. And stop it! Point is, Rip Sabian won the 2023 Women's Rumble from number 1, and it was awesome. And that's not hypocritical, because it's the first time it happened for the women. So shut up. Like Michaels and Bulldog, Rhea and Liv Morgan went the distance for a killer apron spot that saw Rhea flip a blinded Liv onto the floor before biting the bottom rope in an instantly iconic shot. She looks so brilliantly mental. I love it so much. Anyone who says that wins and losses don't matter in WWE don't understand the nature of storytelling, because this was a career-altering win. Triple H built her before back in NXT, and from Vince's departure in 2022, he did it one more time, sending Rhea to WrestleMania 39 with an aura so big you could see it from fucking Saturn. Number 3, the second best women's match in WrestleMania history. It is so weird that Rhea Ripley won a world title before her match with Charlotte at WrestleMania 39, because it really feels like that match was her the girlhood dream has come true establishing moment, and yet she'd won almost exactly the same belt in strawberry flavor 2 years earlier. Anyway, no she didn't. Shut up. I don't know who that was that beat Asuka at WrestleMania 37, but the woman who won this match was Rhea goddamn Ripley. Final form, no takebacks. This match isn't perfect, but it rules. Even with a slightly by the numbers first half, the back half of this match is an all-timer. Once the talented Mr. Ripley started dropping Charlotte directly on her goddamn nose and she sees red and suddenly all hell breaks loose, this is the kind of NXT takeover, all hits, no misses slugfest that takes a good match into being a WrestleMania match. After 2 straight years of Bianca Belair claiming the best match on the Mania card, Rhea acts as a true combo breaker and manages to put on a bout that some argue was the best of the weekend. And when that weekend includes Sami and KO versus the Usos, Seth versus Logan, Roman versus Cody 1, and Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus, that is fucking saying something, and saying it in all caps. No cap. Did I use it correctly? Number 2, Io Sky Wrestling Soulmate. Rhea Yard Rippling doesn't just make exceedingly good cakes, she also makes good wrestling matches with Io Sky. There are many traits of being a great in professional wrestling. The presentation, the catchphrase, the ring work, but one of the truly necessary pieces of the puzzle is a wrestling soulmate. Rock and Austin, Michaels and Taker, Bayley and Banks, and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. It seems premature to say, but honestly, there's too much evidence not to. Their match in the Mae Young Classic was great. The triple threat at TakeOver in Your House was great. Their awesome match on Raw where Io won the title. Their awesome match on Evolution where Naomi cashed in. Their awesome triple threat at SummerSlam. Their awesome friendship as Rio that feels totally genuine and that has single-handedly made the women's tag titles feel like it has an actual division around it for the first time in 8 years. If this year's WrestleMania belongs to Morgan and Bacur and Cargill and Belair, then it feels like next year belongs to Io and Rhea. If Bianca doesn't come back, they might just run Rhea versus Jade. But honestly, if the breakup angle for Rio plays out like it should over the course of this year, by the time we get to WrestleMania 43, we could be seeing the blow-off to the best women's feud of all time between two women with already proven incredible chemistry. Case in point, number one, the best women's match in WrestleMania history. I do think it's the best one. In the 10 years since the Divas Championship was exploded in a bin, there have been some great women's matches at WrestleMania, lots of which have involved Bianca Belair. But then you take her, throw in Io and Rhea Culper into the mix, and you've got an instant classic. Now, maybe it's recency bias. Maybe it's because this was one of the few matches at WrestleMania 41 that actually felt like a WrestleMania match and didn't feel like a bit of brand synergy engineered to sell me a wipe. But no, I'm pretty sure it was just all brilliant all the time. Tower of Doom spots, Ripley and Belair competing for who's got the most raw power, Rhea just fucking chucking Io Sky into Bianca. It wasn't necessarily crowned in self-importance. It was just the most fun I had for the entire WrestleMania weekend, and testament to how far not only the careers of all three women have come, but how far has come the concept of women's wrestling in WWE being blockbuster entertainment with legitimate industry-defining megastars in their midst, with Rhea being the mega-iest of them all. And those are my favorite Rhea Ripley moments. What are yours? Let me know in the comments, and one last very happy birthday to Allison. Your dad's pretty awesome. We have a couple of really fun commissions coming on the Patreon in the next few months. If you'd like to commission your own list, for example, then check out the tiers and see if it's available. Hooray! Until next time, I'm Adam from BlampCo Incorporated. Get back to work. Beach deep, deep, burning a pinch of beams. Beep, beep, beep. I've got the custard cream.